What's good, y'all? Elite live streams. We back with another one. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Happy Sunday. Salute to everyone who's been tuning in. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Appreciate you guys showing love 100%. We've been growing. The channel is doing great. And we here to talk about what's going on in the world as usual. You feel me? Because obviously there's been a lot going on, Ashley Gonzalez, who, has literally gone viral. She is now on the Summer Jam screen. Today, she's getting what she looked for. You know what I'm saying? I'm so proud of my Black American brothers and sisters for standing on business, for holding her accountable, and as well for exposing what needed to be brought to the forefront about these crooked police officers who have been showing biases for a very long time. And today we're going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? It's been something that, obviously has been brewing a lot in our community, and a big part of, what foundational Black Americans have been speaking about lately is directly rooted in this conversation we're going to have tonight. You know what I'm saying? In the sense that there has been so many people who have been among us who do not have any love for our community, who are targeting us, and who are now outwardly admitting it, okay? And this is something that clearly I've talked about in a lot of different examples right here on this channel. So tonight we're going to cook, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously Ashley Gonzalez has, I don't know exactly what her background is from where she grew up or whatever, but her mentality, it speaks to something that we already know as foundational Black Americans in America when we have to deal with the police department. You know what I'm saying? These rhetorics, the things that she's speaking on, the way that she was speaking, obviously is something that we've seen, a lot of us, for a very, very long time. And the fact that now this has gone viral speaks to the fact that a lot of us, specifically who have some leeway to be able to do something about this, have now taken arms and make sure that they are holding them accountable. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about the ones who held them accountable, the ones who stood on business. You feel me? Salute to Brother Quanell X for standing on business. Salute to Dr. Candace Matthews for standing on business. You know what I'm saying? They made sure that they did not allow this police officer to get away with her open biases and held her accountable like everybody else should be. And that's why tonight we're also going to talk about the anti-Black hate crime bill that should be passed because of this. This couldn't be more of a prime example of why a lot of foundational Black Americans have talked about an anti-Black hate crime bill, is because there are people who are in law enforcement, okay, who are openly targeting Black Americans. And so we need to pass legislation that protects us from these type of individuals, okay? Just like Ashley Gonzalez, all right? She openly admitted what she was on. And so now it's time for us as foundational Black Americans to stand on business and pass legislation for this. What up, Turian? How you doing, bro? Salute. And I think it's very important that right now we start to stand on business with that. This is why this couldn't be more of a prime example of why the anti-Black hate crime bill has to be passed. We need to get this done because there are people who are in these police departments who are openly targeting Black Americans, all right, based on their own feelings, okay? Whatever she's going through, that don't got nothing to do with Black Americans, but she openly admitted to targeting Black Americans. So there needs to now be legislation passed that speaks for, hey, man, you are targeting Black Americans. You can't just lose your job. You also need to be prosecuted for a hate crime, okay? This is stuff that is unacceptable, man. We cannot allow this, bro. It's getting crazy out here. Salute to Tori. He says, I agree. Someone with her sentiment could have easily taken a black person's life if she wanted to. 100%. 100%. And that's the point, is this is a dangerous individual, okay, who openly has power to do openly what she wants to any black American that she said that she would find. The first person on the call, she said that she would. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to let her speak in her own words up here, all right? That's what we're going to do, all right? Because I can only speak so much. This is what she had to say.
I was like, what the f are you going to possibly say? Like, are you going to call 911 because I called you a no, right? Oh, my God. I don't know, this shit didn't record, but it was like, I'm kind of glad it didn't record, because it was like me expressing how much I hated black people after this. Like, dog, like, let me get a black person on a 911 call tomorrow, especially. You're going to jail. I don't give a you're getting treated like a bunch of shit, because why the
All right, so look, that is why she had to lose her job. It wasn't just because she was saying the N-word. It was because she openly admitted to the fact that they are targeting black Americans, okay? And that she feels in her own mind that she could walk up on any black American and be able to arrest them on the spot. Now, you cannot tell me that that is not grounds for legislation to be passed for black Americans to be able to be protected from these type of people who have these type of biases and are targeting black Americans. This is the best example in real time that we could ever present for an anti-black hate crime bill is people like Ashley Gonzalez, okay? Because look, this was something that this is how it came about. I guess it was around Wednesday night. This kind of went down, whatever. And so we saw this, but I also saw this from this sister right here, right?
I just find it interesting that she was just so bold and emboldened to just be talking like that on social media about black people, okay? And you think you're gonna be a police officer in my city over here displaying that kind of behavior? Baby, let me give the community an update. She is no longer working for HPD. She was gone as of today, okay, because she got that belt to that ass. Because what we're not gonna do is tolerate no police officers that's holding a badge and then you're damn racist.
That's what we're not gonna do. That's what we're not gonna do. All right, and that was the key component here was the fact that we had a woman, right, who was up here openly spewing racism against black people. Now, if we're talking about what legislation needs to be passed at any point, this has to be passed, man. Salute to Tori, and he says the people in Houston stayed on him till she was out of their facts, man. They stood on business. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Quano X, and salute, you feel me, to Dr. Matthews for standing on business, because this was something that was a very, very triggering scenario where it's like, obviously, as black Americans, we're not surprised about any of this type of behavior, right? We already know this is what they think of us. But the point is, we can only think about how many people that she probably has done that to in the past and has targeted along her way of being a police officer for 2 years. Now, that's where I start to have a problem. And that's where I start to get a little bit more upset, because I start to think about the people who have been affected by these type of people who think the way that she thinks, because it ain't just Ashley Gonzalez. Okay? There is a collective group of people throughout the entire country who think exactly like Ashley Gonzalez. And we all know this as black Americans who live in any city across America. You know what I'm saying? We already know this. We have grown up around it. We have dealt with it every single day. And that's why it was so important. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to let this story play out, because I could have talked about this a couple of days ago. But I wanted to make sure that there was some finality to it so that I could actually bring a little bit more perspective, right? And so when you think about the ideology, right, this person who is obviously a Latino woman speaking about Black Americans in this manner, not understanding her lineage and the fact that the reason why she's even here, right? That's already something that's wrong with her. There's already you're already cooked, right? Or off top. But then the second to go behind that is the fact that you pick up the badge and now you're targeting Black Americans, right? And then on top of that, now you're trying to join in and assimilate to the white supremacist mind state. Okay, now you're cooked. Now it's done for you. Now your life is over. Now you can never be a cop ever again. And guess what? We're going to keep standing on business to make sure that those people who you probably have arrested in the past, those cases need to be brought back up. Right? Those cases need to be brought back up because we already understand the history of the police department, right? We already understand the history of the police department. But if you don't understand the history of the police department, let me go ahead and explain it to you real quick, okay? The history of police targeting Black Americans in the United States spans from slavery era, where the slave patrols were modern profiling rooted in maintaining social control and enforcing racial hierarchies. Okay? Post-Civil War Black codes and Jim Crow laws and the war on crime have consistently subjected Black American communities to intense surveillance and disproportionate force, with Black adults still being 5 times more likely to be stopped without cause. Okay? And just like I played the video for you, the reason why she got terminated, it wasn't just because she said the N-word, it's because she admitted to the fact that she targets Black Americans. Now you're actually telling on the system, and now we have to cut ties with you because you just told what we already know. And this is just facts. Y'all can look it up. I just gave you guys a history lesson just because it's deeper than just Ashley Gonzalez. She's an idiot. Obviously, she's an idiot. But the code, right? The code of which she's underneath, we got to talk about it because we got to address the real enemy. Because all that Ashley is, she's just the buffer, okay? She's just the person that's used to be able to be a crash out for what they want to do to us. And we already know what it is. We ain't going to play these games, man. And she built like chewed gum. Yes, indeed, bro. Yes, indeed. Bad built. And make sure she does not slither like a serpent into another department, 100%. But look, this is what the sister had to say. Salute to the doctor.
Gonzalez. So I just find it interesting that she was just so bold and emboldened to just be talking like that on social media about Black people, okay? And you think you're gonna be a police officer in my city over here displaying that kind of behavior? Baby, let me give the community an update. She is no longer working for HPD. She was gone as of today, okay, because she got that belt to that ass. Because what we're not gonna do is tolerate no police officers that's holding a badge and then you're damn racist.
That's what we're not gonna do. It's a new day. It's a new day. And it's so hilarious how all these people was talking about, oh, FBA, y'all don't stand on business, y'all don't do this, y'all don't do that. Okay, bet. As soon as something happened, we pulled up. We pulled up. Straight up, pulled up. Okay, we wasn't playing no games. All right. What, one racist out, how many more to go? Please let me know where we at. You know what I'm saying? Why does she not wear her natural hair? You know why. Okay, but who you talking about? Are you talking about the Dr. Matthews, or are you talking about the Ashley Gonzalez person. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, that's why it was so important for me to talk about this, because this is something that is so important and one of the tangibles for us as foundational Black Americans to be bringing up, which is the anti-Black hate crime bill. She shouldn't just be able to get fired. She should also be out here getting prosecuted for targeting Black Americans, family. There should be repercussions that go just beyond her losing her job. All right? Straight up. It should be more than that. Salute to Tori. He says, Brandon, when you get a chance, look up Christopher Gilliam. If you think Ashley is bad, look at what he wanted to do. Yeah, man. I'm gonna definitely have to do some research, man, because like I said, like there's a deep-seated issue here that she admitted to. You feel me? Herself. And I think it was important for me to bring that up. So let's let you guys listen to her again, okay? Let's hear it.
As you as a small ass,
let's bring it back.
I don't know, this shit didn't record, but it was like, I'm kind of glad it didn't record, because it was like me expressing how much I hated Black people after this. Like, dog, like, let me get a Black person on a 911 call tomorrow, especially. You're going to jail. I don't give a
You're going to jail if she catches you on a call. She's cooked. Like I told you guys, like this was the part that really got her jammed up, because a lot of us have already known when it comes to stop and frisk, or when it comes to, let's say you're driving in a nice car. Let's talk about it. All right. This is to all my brothers out there who be riding clean, who, you know what I'm saying, do what you do as a young man. All right. This is for them. All right. People like me who was doing that. Okay. Riding clean when you young, you are bound to get pulled over immediately just because the boys want to prove something. You know what I'm saying? They want to check your registration. They want to do this. They want to do that. All this other stuff. Hey, okay, B Queen, I think you're in the wrong spot. So look, what I'm gonna need you to do is chill, or you're gonna get blocked. All right, that's just what it is. We do not disrespect anybody. All right, we ain't talked about how Ashley Gonzalez looks, so don't be coming in here talking crazy. Thank you. Please leave. We don't need you here. So back to the story. All right. So look, the thing with Ashley Gonzalez, and this is why it was so important, was because she admitted to the fact that she's targeting Black Americans. All right. So let's bring it back up so you guys can hear it again. All right.
Treat it like bunch of shit, because like, dog, like, let me get a Black person on a 911 call tomorrow, especially. You're going to jail. I don't give a you're getting treated like bunch of shit, because why?
One more time, just so y'all can hear what she said.
Black people after this, like, dog, like, let me get a Black person on a 911 call tomorrow, especially. You're going to jail. I don't.
Look, man, and that was one of the key components of why they had to terminate her, because, like I said, she lifted up the veil. We already knew as Black Americans how we get targeted, okay? We could be doing anything and the police want to pull up, being nosy, want to create their presence, want to be all up in the biz. So we always have to make sure that we're on guard because of that, right? But the fact that she admitted that now forced them to have to make sure that they were not attached to her anymore, because she admitted to the fact that that is how a lot of them think. Okay, because it ain't just her, and that's the point. Is deeper than just Ashley Gonzalez. You know what I'm saying? Ashley Gonzalez obviously is cooked. You know what I'm saying? Like they said, they're gonna follow her. They're gonna make sure that wherever she's at, they own her ass, because she deserves that. You know what I'm saying? Like, she wanted to go out here saying disparaging things about Black people. Didn't nobody ask for this? You know what I'm saying? She's on her social media trying to do it behind the scenes. And so when you're doing it like that, nah, you're cooked. You're cooked. Somebody exposed you, because there's no honor amongst thieves. Okay? She thought that she was able to have her little safe space to be able to talk like this about black people, and somebody exposed her and said, nope, we're going to put this out on social media so that everybody can see who you are. And sure enough, she's cooked now, and justifiably so. You know what I mean? This is what happens, though, when you go against the grain for no reason, bro. That's just, it didn't, nobody asked for this. Salutatorian, he says, and she sounded so unprofessional too. So we're assuming she was drunk. If she was, they saying a drunk mind speaks sober thoughts. Yeah, man. And she might have been drinking and driving. Don't nobody be talking about that though. All right. Don't nobody be talking about these police officers who be having multiple DUIs. All right. Don't nobody be talking about that, how they be partying and doing all this other stuff, man. Police be getting wild, bro. Don't nobody talk about that. Off-duty police officers be out here doing the most. And so we don't know, you know what I'm saying? She might have been drinking and driving. Who knows what she was on? But at the end of the day, like you said, Torian, a sober mind a drunk mind speaks sober thoughts. That's facts, because a lot of people, man, they let their guard down when that, liquid courage hits their stomach. They start to turn into somebody else. And obviously, they start to expose who they really are. And with Ashley Gonzalez, she really exposed herself to the level where now she could never be trusted. You feel me? And like I said, her admitting to the fact that she was going around targeting Black Americans was the nail in the coffin for her to be let go. They can't keep her anymore because of that. You have to go because now you are admitting to something that we have openly tried to deny for centuries, when I just gave you guys the history of what the police department is, okay? And the fact that they don't care. You know what I mean? They don't. They don't care about targeting Black people. All they care about, man, that's all I got to say about that, man, because a lot of people, they really don't get it. And I was looking at this, I'm wetting, we're all watching the story, and it was important for me to bring that up. So let's bring up the press conference, you know what I'm saying? Because they was cooking at the press conference.
Give us your ID. Do you have any more?
Because we want to at 1 o'clock, because it was brought to our attention that she may be given a out for resignation instead of being fired. Everybody seen that egregious video that she made, speaking of the Black community. One, she does not speak for the Hispanic community. Two, you would not speak about my community in that manner and hold that badge. You think that we're gonna allow you to do that in our city. I bought the belt of justice today, because we want to let the leadership know at HPD.
Hey, the belt of justice, though. The belt of justice, man. Don't nobody do it like we do it, man. That's facts, because it's real. Like, she had to bring belt to ass. That's facts, because at the end of the day, Ashley Gonzalez is out here. Like I said, she represents a culture, a police culture. It isn't just about, Ashley Gonzalez. No, it's about the culture of the police department who openly target Black Americans. And I always bring it back to the history, because a lot of y'all just don't get it. You feel me? So let's talk about the slave patrols then. You feel me? The earliest forms of policing were in the South. And these patrols, i.e. the Carolinas around the 1700s, were designed to prevent revolts, catch runaway slaves, and terrorize the enslaved population, family. This is not something for me to just sit around and play with. All right. Ashley Gonzalez, like I said, she's a buffer, man. She's just in between who the real person we got some smoke with. And the fact that she's able to be used like this, hey, man, crash dummy. Crash dummy. Ashley also used to be in the Marines, and it was her Marine sister who exposed her. Listen, man, there's no honor amongst thieves, y'all. All right. Somebody see something crazy, I could only imagine this is not the first time she's done something like this, and this is probably the last time that somebody was like, you know what, I'm tired of this, we about to post it. And sure enough, it went viral immediately. And so, justifiably so, they had to bring out the belt of justice. You feel me? And get her up out of there. You feel me? The belt of justice. It's real talk.
That you're not going to go behind doing back alley deals. You're going to draw a line in the sand today. Because let's be clear, that badge that she had on her comes from us, the community. That's who it comes from. And so you would not use that badge to weaponize us. It's what you're not going to do. So with that being said, we are here to let them know that the community is watching, because this is how road cops are recycled.
This is facts, man. I've been telling people, like, if she's able to move around, whatever they got going on, they are going to follow her wherever she goes. Social media will blast her out there. Her face has been exposed. She will not be able to live the same because of this. She chose her side of the street. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, I don't know what's going to happen from here on out. You know what I'm saying? I don't. But at the end of the day, it's not in my hands anymore. It's in God's hands now. She chose to do whatever she wanted to do, and everybody moved accordingly, right? This is why press conferences were created. Social media people came out. Content creators were making videos and live streams about this, making sure that we raised awareness. And now, like I said, the conversation now has to bubble up to the anti-Black hate crime bill. This is now the perfect example of what that will look like for the protections of us as foundational Black Americans, man. Stuff like this, where police are literally openly expressing the fact that they target Black Americans. This is no better time for us to be able to get the legislation that's necessary for us to be able to be protected from this type of targeting. Okay, this is just facts, man. Like, enough's enough, bro. We already knew this is what they think, but at the same time, when y'all can do it for the Stop Asian Hate, okay, when that was going on, they passed the bill for that. All right, so now what we gonna need is that anti-Black hate crime bill, you know what I'm saying, specifically for discrimination from police brutality, okay? The statistics are overwhelming, all right? We already know this. I don't even need to get into the statistics. But what we do need to make sure that we focus on is the fact that the anti-Black hate crime bill needs to be passed immediately, especially when we have people like Ashley Gonzalez who are supposed to be protecting and serving the community. Yeah, she's serving us, all right. Yeah, straight up to the prison system.
By letting them resign, knowing that they displayed misconduct or some type of behavior that is unacceptable. So before that happens, it's going to be some smoke in the city. We are laying the groundwork for every city to watch what we're doing. Look how fast we moved on this.
That's a fact, man. And that's why I be trying to tell people. They were saying FBA don't move. They were saying FBA just in the house. FBA don't do this. No, y'all just on the internet. Nah, bro. When people is really out here in the field, man, you guys got to wake up. Y'all got to wake up. Whatever you're on is what you're on. But a lot of us are really in the community doing things and moving around, making sure that we are building connections outside of just the internet, family. Don't get it twisted, okay? Delineation phase 1, facts. That's what it is, man. We are 100% moving collectively, and we don't need to be on code telling y'all every move we doing. We just post it, all right? Like I told y'all, I'm doing what I got to do over here. You know what I'm saying? Long Beach, we got it going. You know what I'm saying? The food bank is doing amazing, all right? We out here doing what we got to do for the community, all right? Whatever y'all want to talk about and try to downplay what Black Americans are doing in our community, yeah, keep thinking that, whatever. But all I know is if you out here talking crazy about Black Americans and you out here doing disparaging things, we about to stand on business, all right? And we are standing on business collectively, all right? The delineation movement is in phase 1. Just like my boy Torian just said, phase one, we out here standing on business, making sure that we holding people accountable who are working in our communities, are supposed to be serving our communities, who are supposed to be protecting us. Meanwhile, they over here calling us N-words and calling us monkeys. Nah, bro, we got to stand on business about this. And salute, like I said again, to brother Quanell X and Dr. Matthews for standing on business, man, for real.
We can't no longer sit around and just talk about it on social media and don't put action behind it. They have to understand, when you do this type of stuff, this is a problem. We would not allow an officer to cause friction between the police station, with the police and the community. We are for community policing. We're not for that. You would not use that type of language and claim that you're representing the Hispanic community and you want to try to put a wedge between African Americans and Hispanics. You're not doing that in our city.
Listen, man, this is the unfortunate part about this, is the fact that a lot of people have already felt that wedge. And what she went up there and did as a Hispanic person was devastating to that cause, okay? That conversation that was trying to be had is done. It's not happening no more. Delineation is proving that to be a freaking prophecy at this point, all right? We cannot do that for the safety of our own selves, all right? This person who's supposed to be allied with us is literally talking about targeting us and literally putting us behind bars. It would be detrimental to your health to continue to not have your guard up. And be careful out here, man. Straight up, you gotta be careful, man. See, if we had an anti-Black hate crime bill, we would not have to get in their face like this. 100%, man. She would already know what time it was. She would be quiet. All right. She would have to be strategic about what she do, like everybody else. But once you start getting sloppy like this person, you're cooked. And that's what happened. She got sloppy and we stood on business. All right. That's just what it is. We stood on business, man. Yeah, proceed with caution. Everybody got to move different now, man. Especially just when it comes to, all right, cool. Like now, maybe spiritually, there was like a spiritual delineation. Now it literally has to be from the physical self-protective standpoint, because you literally have people who are a part of that community who are now openly admitting to their biases and targeting nature. That is a problem. That is a safety concern. And we all must be on guard because of this. Because if you're not, you could run into an Ashley Gonzalez in any of these police departments across the nation. Okay, so don't get it twisted, man, because it's just not Ashley Gonzalez. It is a lot of them across the entire nation. Okay, especially for Black Americans. We know what it is, man.
We're not having it. And so today, HBD, you are going to fire her today. Today. Am I right? You are going to fire her today. We are coming for her T-code license. If you don't fire her, then you leaving it open, saying that it's okay for that kind of behavior, and then she can go to another police agency and then try to lock up more Black people because of their skin color. Absolutely not. You're not doing it today. You're going to be fired today, ma'am. She must go. She must go. She must go. She must go.
They stood on business, man. And they told us, man, they told us that foundational Black Americans don't stand on business. They told us that we not outside. They told us that it's just, oh, nah, y'all, anybody say anything. Nah, we the only ones who stand on business. That's just a fact. She didn't ask to fire her. She said you will fire her today. That's facts. Today. Fire her today. It was not, we ain't waiting on that, because at the end of the day, this are already going viral. Okay. And a lot of places, let's just keep it real, a lot of mainstream media didn't cover this story. Okay. Because at the point, 3 days had went by real quickly and they was like, nah, we got to get her up out of here. Because like I told y'all, what she said created a wave because she admitted to the fact that she was targeting Black Americans. All right. When you start to speak on that type of language, that's bad for the entire law enforcement community, because for centuries they have denied the fact that they target people, okay, specifically Black Americans. All right, that's just what it is. We know what it is, man, but you guys got to wake up and understand, when people start to speak on these type of languages, when they're saying this type of stuff, that is one of the main reasons, was because she openly admitted to the fact. Oh, did my camera die? Hold up, y'all. All right, I'm gonna have to use my regular camera. But anyways, we're gonna continue. Hey, glad to catch you live. Hey, salute you. I don't understand. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, but we back. All right. Let me know if y'all can hear me. But we good. Okay, so I felt like that's why it was super important, at least from that perspective, to talk about at least what they were speaking on. So let's get back to this right here. Hold up.
She must go. She must go. She
must go. Justice.
She must go. She must go. She must.
In the name of God, the beneficent, the merciful, we thank you for your presence and your patience. One, we are demanding that the Houston Police Chief uses his executive powers and terminates this officer. Secondly, we're asking the Houston Police Officers Union, for the first time in Houston history, take a historic step and refuse to represent this woman in her appeal hearing. It's been brought to our attention that she's going to appeal the firing if she's fired. We're saying to the union, tell this officer she does not even deserve or qualifies to be represented by your organization. If you are a union that truly believes in justice, don't get this notorious racist cop job back like you've done others whom the chief's office has fired. We're asking the union to stand down on this one and terminate this racist snake.
Yeah, man, that was a big part of this. Was obviously we could tell that she was being able to be emboldened, right? And like you said, she said that she was reminded of her time in the Marines, right? And she was an E4, so obviously she was a pretty high-ranking officer. So that part as well, where it's like, okay, yeah, there's a lot of, like I told y'all, this thing goes deep. And the fact that she was able to just be able to kind of skate around it and not be able to be held accountable for what she was doing all the way up to this point. And now, obviously, like this is a Dr. Matthews says, she brought the belt of justice, belt to ass. And that's exactly what she had to get, because she was talking reckless, man. Like I told you guys, if she wouldn't have been up there admitting to targeting foundational Black Americans, right, they probably would have tried to let her get off with just saying the N-word. I mean this. But the fact that she was up there speaking on that type of time, that was what really put her in, bro, because she was really, really speaking about things that they have tried to deny for centuries. All right, man, hold up. Let me bring that down. I'm gonna bring this up just so y'all could hear her for herself.
You're getting treated like a bunch of shit, because why the seeing how much I hated Black people after this? Like, dog, like, let me get a Black person on a 911 call tomorrow, especially. You're going to jail. I don't give a
you're going to jail. All right, that's what she said. Okay, so naturally, a lot of people are like, oh, nah, like, Like that is targeting. And that's why, like I said, this couldn't be a better example of what you would want for an anti-Black hate crime bill. This is the greatest example necessary, where you have a police department that is set up specifically to target Black Americans. We need protections from them if we do have situations like a Derek Chauvin, like an Ahmaud Arbery, where people can be able to be prosecuted because they were targeted. Okay, this is what happens. But you have people like Ashley Gonzalez, right? They're just going to terminate her. Like, no, dude, her cases, all of them need to be studied, every single one of them. And we need to find if there was probable cause, because if there wasn't, she needs to be prosecuted because of that. That is a hate crime. That is targeting. Okay. And that, like I said, this couldn't be the more better example that you could find for this type of bill. All right. This type of bill, this is the perfect example of what that would look like. Okay. It would be because we need protections, not only from these racist, you already know these racist people that we surrounded by, right? But we also need it against the racist police departments. All right. This is just facts, man. And if you got a problem with that, you can have a problem with that. I don't care. But I just know for a fact that, like, when I see this, when I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh man, like I already know what that is, bro. This is exactly what needs to be represented if something were to happen. Who are these people who she's been arresting in the past, right? Who was the person that she came across when she just had an attitude and wanted to do something to a Black person? What does that person look like, and what did they go through because of her? Nobody's thinking about that. Nobody's trying to really rationalize that. Yo, okay, cool. Well, then guess what? We need an anti-Black hate crime bill. We need that. We need that immediately, because at the end of the day, that don't make no sense for us to not have it. Straight up. Straight up. Hold up. All right, says, I don't understand. He says, honestly, this is how all immigrants feel. They just don't get caught. Man, it's bad out here, bro. I'm telling you guys, bro. Like, it's one of those things where a lot of people try to gaslight a lot of us for having our own experiences and what we went through and the things that we've seen. And that's why I keep telling people, don't let nobody gaslight you about what you've been through, family, because at the end of the day, your experiences is what you went through, and we've all got similar experiences. It ain't just you. All right. A lot of us have gone through things and experienced things and been able to come back to the community by, hey, man, you heard about this? You've been up there street ads. No, I can't go over there because so-and-so or da-da-da-da. So it's like, nah, bro, everybody ain't just lying, man. And it's crazy because we now are starting to see more of that, where it's like, yo, like, okay, we're getting these people into police departments. And then when they're in the police departments, they're targeting our people. Like, what? And now that's an extra layer because these people are supposed to be the ones who we supposed to trust. Yeah, right, dude. Yeah, right.
We want every single case she has ever worked on as a Houston police officer involving an African-American male or female to be reopened, re-examined, reinvestigated, because if this no good, dirty, racist cop has that mindset, that attitude, it wasn't born that night on social media. It's been in her.
100%. 100%. There needs to be a deep dive on every single one of her cases. She needs to be investigated by the FBI. Her entire department needs to be looked at. And listen, this is a part of it as well. I can only imagine if they subpoenaed her phone. Remember the story that I talked to you guys about where we talked about the Turning Point USA chapter up at Florida Atlantic University, where they got caught with all of those racist text messages in a group chat? You don't think that this Ashley Gonzalez person was not in a group chat with other police officers who are spitting the same rhetoric? Come on, man. Let's not be so gullible. Let's make sure that we're thinking, right? Because that's what we do over here on my channel. We're thinkers, okay? My channel, the people who patronize here, people who are subscribed to me are highly intelligent people. You guys are high functioning. The IQ is off the charts. So it would just make sense, right? That if they were to subpoena her phone, they would see all of those group chats and text messages and threads of people who are in her department who as well are spitting racist rhetoric. 100%. We know that this is 100% going on. She needs to be investigated. That's a fact. She does need to be investigated. They need to go through every single case that she's ever had and be looked at, man. Yeah, man. Everything, bro. They need to go in on her. She needs to get no straight up, hey, Queen Nurse, what's good with you? She needs to get no space, bro. Real talk. She needs to get no space. Brother Quanell X, I'm gonna let him cook some more.
So how many black men, how many black women are sitting in jail, maybe sitting in prison, all because of this woman's racist, biased views toward them? We want the DA's office to launch an internal probe from the Public Integrity Division, investigate every case she's ever worked on.
Every case. Not a single case should go by that they are not looking up and paying attention to because of what she did and how she was moving. Straight up. Salute to you, Queen. I just think it's very funny, though. Like I said, it's funny, right? How when she spoke on the targeting part, that was what I felt like made it go over the top. That's what made her lose her job, because she was really playing games up until that point, and then boom. Now, nah, bro, she's speaking on targeting Black Americans. You gotta go. You gotta go. It's over for you. You cannot be out here spreading that rhetoric and you are up here literally targeting Black Americans. You gotta go. It's over for you. You're cooked, because that was when things changed, right? You could speak and say the N-word, you're going to hold that consequence for sure. But on top of that, now you are actually admitting to the fact that there is a system at play here that a lot of us as Black Americans have already admitted to, and the fact that the police department targets Black Americans, whether it be because of their own jealousy, maybe they have an attitude like she said. She's just upset. She can't wait till she hears the first one on the call. She wanted to be there to be able to arrest this person. Straight up, man. Salute to Teronika. Yeah, man. Straight up. It was no games. We really out here like not trying to really play with this, but it's so true is how they're doing this. Like they're literally moving in a certain way where it's obvious about the fact that they are literally targeting Black Americans. And now the fact that she admitted to that, in my opinion, is what really made the thing go over the top, right? Was the fact that she openly admitted to the fact that, hey, man, when I see a Black person, they are going to go to jail. That's what she said, okay? Not us. She said that herself. So when you admit to that, now you're gonna get cooked. Now you're done. You're done.
Treat it like bunch of shit, because why the as you as a small hated Black people after this, like, dog, like, let me get a Black person on a 911 call tomorrow, especially you're going to jail. I don't give a
You're going to jail. You're going to jail. Okay? You're going to jail. All right? That's what she said. And this is a police officer for the Houston PD. Houston PD. All right? We have to, like I said, we have to delineate for your own safety at this point, because literally these police officers are targeting Black Americans from all fronts, whether they're white, whether they're Asian, whether they are Hispanic or Latino. Straight up, man. Salute to Queen. Salute to Taranika. She says, Mobile PD acting just like the way she was speaking. Yeah, man. Hey, Mobile, Alabama. If you talk about Mobile, Alabama, yeah, my uncle's from Mobile, and Mobile is tough up there, man. Them police don't mess around, bro. I mean, the South just in general, but Mobile, Alabama is a different place, man. They don't mess around at Mobile. So salute to Mobile, though. I got roots in Mobile. All right, so Queen Nurse says an evil and vile person like that could never serve and protect. Yeah, I come from a family of law enforcement and first responders, you know what I'm saying? Firefighters and nurses, obviously paramedics and police officers, servicemen who are in the military currently. My first cousin is a very high-ranking Navy officer right now. So I have a lot of ties with this. And it is unfortunate that, like I said, people like this represent the badge and are supposed to be the first responders if something were to happen. Okay. Imagine that you were in trouble and somebody like Ashley Gonzalez shows up. You're cooked. Okay. This is life and death type of like career path. Okay. As a first responder, you are the first person for help, for protection, for something that would be necessary for somebody to live. And imagine if she shows up with her biases, you could literally lose your life because of somebody like Ashley Gonzalez. This is not a game, man. This is real world stuff. Okay. If we're just talking about just the internet, all right, cool. But this is real world stuff. And in the real world, if something happens and you get the wrong police officer to show up, you're cooked. Especially as a Black American, man. It's a roll of the dice. You're hoping and praying that you have a cool cop or somebody who ain't gonna trip, because if they do, you never know what could happen. And this is just facts, man. I ain't gotta make it up. Salute to Taranika. Yeah, it's bad. Salute to I don't understand. Honestly, they should really push this issue with her job, her neighborhood, with everything. Yeah, and like I said, that's why we need to press the issue with the anti-Black hate crime bill, because she doesn't need to just be able to get fired. She needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law for targeting Black Americans. And like I said, the FBI needs to look into every single case that she's ever had when it comes to Black people. This doesn't need to just stop with, okay, yeah, she just loses her job and she can't become a police officer anymore. No, she needs to be locked up for what she did to other people, which was lock them up. Straight up. No more of the days where it's just like, oh yeah, like, yeah, let's just, make sure. No, bro. With an anti-Black hate crime bill, that would make these police officers have to think twice about targeting Black Americans. That's just the facts. If we have an anti-Black hate crime bill, it protects us from having to deal with the BS of what they feel like they can change stories, plant evidence. Okay? Be able to, like Ashley Gonzalez over here, talking their little circles about us behind the scenes, talking about targeting us. Nah, man. That gotta shift. That's over. That's out. We done with that. Now she gotta pay for this, man. Real talk. And anybody else who on that racist timing gotta pay. That's just what it is, bro. It is what it is. Y'all can be mad. I don't care. But they gotta pay for what they doing to Black people. Because like he mentioned, we don't know how many Black people she done locked up. How many Black people was affected by this woman. We don't know that.
This woman is a no good, dirty, low down racist snake. And we do not want her among us. Now, a message to this racist cop. We don't give a damn if you go to Burger King, we'll follow you. If you go to McDonald's, we'll follow you. If you go to a car wash, we'll follow you. We will work like hell to make sure you don't get a job nowhere where African Americans, Black men or Black women will patronize that business.
That's just a fact, man. We ain't be standing on business, man. We ain't got no more time, bro, to just be out here letting people say whatever they feel like they want to say to us. Nah, y'all cooked. She should never be allowed to work in law enforcement again. Glad she was rightfully fired. We need the anti-black hate crime bill now, 100% now, not to tomorrow, today. All right. She need the belt to ass. That's a fact. Because at the end of the day, what she was doing was ridiculous. That's why it was important for us to make sure she put a belt to ass.
I just find it interesting that she was just so bold and emboldened to just be talking like that on social media about black people, okay? And you think you're gonna be a police officer in my city over here displaying that kind of behavior? Baby, let me give the community an update. She is no longer working for HPD. She was gone as of today, okay, because she got that belt to that ass. Because what we're not gonna do is tolerate no police officers that's holding a badge and then you're damn racist.
We ain't tolerating that. Belt to ass. We ain't tolerating that. Those days are done. You feel me? Foundational Black Americans is out here standing on business. You talking crazy. You targeting Black Americans. You're doing fugazi activity. You out here tap dancing. You're gonna get cooked on the internet. Like I always tell you guys, foundational Black Americans, we run this. Everything that we do, we set the trend, okay? And you saw once they got in action, once they got together, once they collectively said, nah, we on their ass, it was a wrap. Stood on business, okay? Didn't just sit around. They stood on business and made sure that they understood the presence was felt. If you disrespect us, we are going to make sure that we hold you accountable. And not only that, you might want to make sure that you be careful because you might lose your job and your livelihood because of it. All right? Ashley Gonzalez has been totally doxxed. Her life will never be the same after this. She will always have to live this down, and justifiably so. When you want to take off the veil and say you were racist, you got to hold that like a scarlet letter. You should be shamed by all of the community for being a racist. I don't care how anybody feels about that. If you're racist, you deserve to be shamed for it. If you are racist, you deserve to be confronted for it. If you are racist, you deserve to be cooked. I do not care what anybody else has to say. Y'all can have sympathy for these people, but I do not, because they don't have it for us. All right? Let's just make it clear. Let's make that shit clear. All right? They do not care, just like we shouldn't. All right? Her and others. What about her partner? I'm sure they were aware too. That's why I said, man, all these little group chats that people be having at work, all these little group chats and places that they go on the internet, and that's what she was doing. She initially shared the video to somebody in her close friends on Instagram, and they screen recorded it and actually put it out there, and it went viral. So like I said, there is no honor amongst thieves, right? You're amongst people who don't, I mean, they're police officers, whatever. But at the end of the day, she got outed by her own people. So what do you think? You know what I'm saying? Her own partners, you don't think they was in there talking crazy too? You don't think that's how they feel about Black Americans? You don't think that's what they're trying to? Come on, man. Like I told y'all who are subscribed to my channel, you guys are highly intelligent individuals, and that's why y'all over here. And that's for a fact. We already know that entire department talks like this. That entire construct talks like this. We already talked about what the origins of what the police department came from in the South. This is Texas, y'all. Let's not forget about this, all right? My family directly comes from Clarksville, Texas, all right? My lineage had to leave Texas because of how crazy it was, man. This is what it is, bro. You can't skip over that. Hiding behind that badge. Yeah, man, a lot of them is hiding behind that badge, man. A lot of them are being able to outlive those fantasies that they had in their mind from high school, from middle school, from elementary school, feeling inadequate because they came into the community and they saw Black Americans who had more than they had, who were doing better than they were, and at the same time they want to be a part of the community, right? But then at the same time they actually hate us for it. So what does that build? That builds resentment, prejudice, and not only that, the generations that came before this telling them what they should think and how they should treat us, trying to assimilate and get next to the white establishment, trying to gussy up and shoe shine for the master. Okay? This is what the conditioning is that a lot of us had to make sure that we tried to save them from. Hey man, y'all shouldn't do that, bro. Y'all should align with us. I'm telling you, because eventually y'all gonna need us. You might want to do this, and they don't listen, right? We try to give them advice because we know the enemy. We've been with this enemy since he came over here on them boats. Okay. We've been here watching him, studying him, and understanding how he moves with enough data and understanding and knowledge to try to help others and say, hey, y'all should listen to what we got cracking because we know what we talking about. We've seen these people. We know how they move, but everybody tries to act like they know better than Black Americans. So bet we said, cool, y'all know better than us. Y'all got it. And then what happened? Sure enough, like we already know the enemy to do, he snaked all of them, turned his back on them. And now he's rounding them up. Okay? And that's why a lot of them are mad at us too, y'all. Let's not get it twisted. Okay? There's a lot going on in that community right now. And they have a vendetta with the fact that foundational Black Americans is chilling right now. We kicking back. We getting this money. We staying focused on the task at hand. We asking for them tangibles. That anti-Black hate crime bill. What's up with that? What's up with them reparations? All right. And cash payments and land grants. All right. What's up with that? What's up with the banking systems that we need in a foundational Black American dollar? What's up with that? Yeah, nah, we on that. Y'all could be on whatever you're on. And so once we started to hit them with that, once we started to delineate from the situation, now everybody's hurt. And that's too bad. They got to hold that, family, because at the end of the day, what we've done has been nothing short of amazing. Okay, straight up, man. Exactly. They were taught that, yeah, man, they out here, you know, trying to gaslight. They trying to gaslight Black Americans because of what we already had saw, what we already knew. We said, look, man, we ain't got nothing against nobody, but obviously they have something against us. And we said, cool, let us go ahead and focus on what we got. Hey, man, you already know that. They gotta do what they gotta do, right? To be able to assimilate to the white establishment, okay? To be able to get next to be able to feel adequate. That train got to keep rolling. Yeah, man, it's like I told people, it's no coming back. We could discuss as much as we want to about the future, but as far as like what happened in the past, that's over. Ain't no coming back. Foundational Black Americans, we not thinking the same no more. Those same secular conversations that a lot of people was having, those are done. Like those days are over. Now we're talking about, like I said, tangibles. We're trying to make moves in the community. We're doing what we have to do, boots on the ground as the grassroots. That's the next phase. Y'all still caught up in the old stuff. We not arguing no more. We out here making moves for real in the community. Like I said, there's a lot of people who are going out here, showing up at places that need to be, their voices need to be heard at. There are people who have organizations who are doing things to help in their communities. You know what I'm saying? We ain't playing, yeah, the female Zimmerman, yeah, and thank God. Let's hope that no information comes out about maybe her being in a situation where she might have gotten into an altercation with somebody and somebody might have not made it. We don't know that. We don't know what she's been up to. We don't know what her history is and what she got on her name. We don't know that. we got to be careful, because at the end of the day, like we just mentioned, we don't know the cases and the things that she's done in the past. She could have literally been doing anything to Black people up to this point. We don't know that. We don't. And we also need to make sure that we pay attention to the fact that anything could have happened, especially underneath now this guise where she played the game. She was already a police officer for 2 years up to this point. So for 2 years, what kind of damage could she have made? Y'all help me think about that. Let's think about that, right? Let's use our thinking caps. Let's use our mind, right? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because we already know what she was on. We already know what she was doing. We're not gonna play them games, man. Argue for what, please? Yes, exactly. Like, we ain't arguing with nobody. We need an anti-Black hate crime bill now, because we need to make sure that we are protected from people who are targeting Black Americans, whether it be the police, whether it be the people in the community, whether it be whoever has any vendetta towards us, which I like to mention is everybody. All right. We ain't got no allies. It's us versus everybody. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that anti-Black hate crime bill would be in place for us to have protections against them. All right. Yeah, them families, they know, they watching her. Yeah, man. And listen, man, it's like I told you, it can get petty out here. A lot of people ain't playing with this woman. You know what I'm saying? They ready to, like I said, put that belt of justice. They not ready to stop yet. They still want to put belt to ass for Ashley Gonzalez. All right, let's not play these games. You know what I'm saying? Let's not play like Ashley Gonzalez just gonna get off. No, Ashley Gonzalez is still belt to ass. Ashley, we still coming for that.
And to any police department that even considers hiring her, like you have hired so many others that have been terminated, we will come down against your police department, organize and rally your community, because that woman is a terrorist in uniform.
That's what it is, man. That's why I be trying to tell people, like, we can't play with these people when they're literally playing with our lives, man. She specifically said, I'm going to find a Black person and put them in jail. I do not give a F. Okay, bet. We got to get her off the streets because she's a problem. All right? That's a terrorist. That is the definition of a terrorist. Somebody who is causing terror to a community, family. That is the definition, man. Yeah, investigate her time in the military as well. Yeah, man, they got to, like I told you, that's the difference is we chopping it up amongst each other right now, but I'm telling you, man, it be people on the internet, bro. They be calling every day to certain places. They'll blow certain places up. We don't know what's happening right now in the military. They could be getting all type of calls for Ashley Gonzalez. I would not be surprised. You would be very surprised how much people can find out on the internet and how clever a lot of people are with calling these companies, with putting pressure on different spots, knowing how to get the addresses to certain people's homes. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what's going on right now, but we got to definitely keep in mind that people is on her ass. So she could be getting that situation right now. We don't know, you know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't be surprised if somebody is calling the military, you know what I'm saying? Straight up. Yeah, go for that pension. Facts, man, because she's definitely still getting paid. Hey, right now, and just to show them we ain't playing with them, you can't disrespect us like that. Yeah, we on their ass. I'm telling you, man, the belt of justice just belt to ass. We is not playing with these no more, man. Definitely keep an eye on her for now, because she's going to use this as an excuse to try to blackmail a woman, thinking we are the reason she got fired. Yeah, man, facts. And like I said, Torian brings up a great point, is the fact that now people can shift the blame onto us, making it seem like as content creators or as journalists, we're piling on or we're creating a situation. It's like, no, you created the content. All right. You went out of your way to make a video trying to be slick, trying to be funny, and putting it amongst people who you shouldn't have trusted in the first place. They exposed you, and that's what it is. All right, it is what it is. Your feelings, if you was really like that, you would have put it out there. But now you can't come back from it, and now you're trying to look for some sympathy, right? Now it's on Black Americans to have a heart. And I'm so tired of that. I'm so tired of that rhetoric, man. We so tired of that. I swear we tired of always having to be the bigger person. Black Americans, we always got to be the moral compass. We always got to be the ones who have the bigger heart. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to play a video at the end of this stream where this young lady, she just cooked so well, man. It was crazy. Like, she's just, you know, she's got that fire that I love. But, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna let this roll for a little bit because I wanted to let Quanell do his thing.
That's exactly what she is. And we demand her termination today. Terminate, 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 terminate,
terminate.
And what we want is an outside agency to step in from the Justice Department and conduct an independent investigation.
This is where it gets important here. The outside entities, man. We need the outside oversight to make sure that we are paying attention to these other bigger pictures here, which is the fact that this is a systemic problem. It isn't just Ashley Gonzalez, it's her whole department, okay? The whole department, all right, needs to be checked out. HPD, investigate, 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 straight up, investigate, man. Salute to FBA Strong. He says, salute. I wonder how the other Black police officers in her department reacted. A real power move would be for them to step out publicly. I'm sure they don't have that kind of courage. No, I mean, listen, that would be a great show of solidarity and a great power move, like you mentioned. But it would also 100% put a target on their back. And this is the South now. This ain't, you know, this ain't the West Coast. This ain't, you know, this is South. So you already know how they get down. Texas is a different place, man. And, you know, a lot of things can happen to them people. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you guys, my dad used to work with Eric Dorner, or rest in peace to Eric Dorner out here in LAPD. All right. And y'all know what Eric put down. He put down a demo. All right. So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It could get tricky for Black cops. You got to be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? But you're right. I could only imagine how they felt when they saw that, because I mean this. They know just like we know. Okay. They know. They tried their best to, you know, maneuver through the department so that they don't have to like directly deal with it. But they know, just like we know, bro. They know what goes on, bro. Straight up. No sympathy. She's a danger to the Black community, 100%. She is on demon time. If we could ever describe what demon time is, that's what Ashley Gonzalez was on. She was over there rolling around looking for Black people to arrest and put in prison, family. This is the mentality of this type of person. All right? A demented human being. Like, we can't get along with them type of people. Them type of people, there ain't no fixing them. We just gotta chalk them up as an op and make sure that we treat them accordingly. I don't care. I don't care how I sound. You know what I'm saying? She deserves everything she gets. She grown. Facts. You make your own decisions. You're a grown woman. You know what I'm saying? You done worked in the military, all that stuff. You chose to go out there, and like I said, you made the content. So when you put it out there, like I said, you're trying to be clever, trying to be funny, trying to put it to certain people that you thought you could trust. There is no honor amongst thieves, man. Y'all remember that. No honor amongst thieves, all right? These are all people who will do anything and everything to one another, all right? What you think she did to her? You know what I mean? She thought she was good. No internal investigation. Yeah, that's what they need to do. We want investigate straight up, bro.
We want every email with her internal communication with her subordinates and her colleagues examined. I don't believe this officer has had these views and worked as the officer as long as she has, as a sergeant, I understand, and yet no other officer saw this.
That part right there, man. We already know that these people are amongst each other. They are amongst comfortability. They're in their circle. There's no way that Ashley Gonzalez was out here without the same rhetoric and people emboldening her to feel comfortable to express herself like this on this level where, like Toria mentioned, she's intoxicated. Okay, get out of here, man. We know what's going on. Yeah, because the black cops here say it's just for a paycheck. Yeah, man, but you know, sometimes all money ain't good money, right? Is that what they say? All money ain't good money. You know what I mean? But salute to all my brothers who are in law enforcement, because like I said, I come from a family of law enforcement. My dad was a police officer out here in LA. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, man, this is something that I think a lot of them have to deal with, where it's like when you're over there in the South, you got to deal with not only the racist YT people, but you also got to deal with the racist Latinos. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? They want us to fight for them. Absolutely not. Nope. We good, man. Like I said, man, we good. Like y'all showed us what's up. We played it cool. We said we gonna just chill back. We trying to see how y'all moving. We gonna let you guys, you know, take the lead on this one. That's just facts. Y'all got it. You know what I mean? We so stupid. We this, we all that. We lazy. I bet. I gaslight me. I don't care. I can give a F about what you think. I don't believe she was alone. She had a partner 100%. Yeah. You know, this is like I said, this is a rhetoric. This is a pyramid. All right. And at the top, you have the perspective of the people who she's aligned with, and then everybody else who she's gonna fall right underneath, man. It's just she didn't just wake up one day saying the N-word and talking about targeting, you know, the first black person she see on the street. She didn't just come up doing that. She, you know what I mean? She was with some other people who they did that. And now she does that to be able to feel good about herself, because like I told y'all, this is all some stuff that a lot of them have dealt with their own little insecurities because something happened to them in elementary school or in middle school or in high school. You know, I wasn't the popular one. I didn't get to play sports. My parents made me do this, so I couldn't enjoy myself. And they see Black Americans living it up, doing what we do, having the greatest time of our lives. You know what I'm saying? Living it up, enjoying ourselves, even when we are underneath the most scrutiny of a people, still finding ways to be happy, still finding ways to get out of our situation, still finding ways to innovate and create. They don't like that. And a lot of people have a problem with that. And so naturally, that bolds what and it bubbles up until, oh, I'm going to become a police officer. I'm going to go into the military and I'm going to make, you know, life harder on Black people, thinking that's going to make you feel good. And look what that brought you, man. The ancestors don't miss when it comes to us, y'all. Remember this. The ancestors does not miss when it comes to us. We are protected by the Most High. He will never let us down. And he will never allow anybody to be able to come over here and take us out. It's just not possible. He chose us for a reason. And so when people try to go against the grain and they try their best, racism is expensive. It costs her everything. It costs her her job. It costs her her reputation. It costs her her money, her cash flow, and her livelihood. It costs her her identity and privacy. Okay, her family's privacy, the people around her, everybody has now got to hold the cross for her indiscretions towards Black Americans. Isn't that just a poetic justice that we all speak about? And like I always tell people, man, y'all can say whatever you want, but the Most High, he decides everything. After that, bro, it's over. We don't have to have no conversation. It ain't about me. So now that y'all cooked, now that you have to hold the L, you're done. You're done. It's over for you. You know what I'm saying? It's a wrap. we can call it how you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? What is police are giving a pass to our people without accountability. Yeah, man, but that's why it's so important to see what they did. They stood on business. They didn't allow the police to continue to do the same rhetoric that's been happening to us on the past. They stood on business, and we all have to stand on business. If this continues to happen, which it will, we got to be ready to show up at the press conferences, ready to hold these people accountable and ready to do whatever is necessary to get the job done. All right?
No other officer heard these whispers. No other officer saw this kind of communication. This woman was too open, too free. She was too bold. She was too cocky to say what she said in the way that she said it. She really said to black people, I don't give a damn what you niggas think. I'm going to say it like she said it. Nigga, nigga, nigga. That's what she was saying. Mm-hmm. Well, we say terminate, 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 terminate. Terminate, 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 terminate.
Yeah, and that's what we need. We need to terminate, and we need to investigate because they already terminated her. So now we need to investigate. All right. The investigation is time. We need to investigate whatever, she had going on over there, whatever, cases that were underneath that is a wrap for her. She gotta be investigated, y'all. Let's go, man. The ancestors are waiting on us to stand together. Yeah, man. They know what we're doing, and they're shining on what we're doing. They're blessing us. The grassroots media right now, we're the ones who are driving the conversation. We're the ones who are bringing things to the next level. So it's important for y'all to make sure that you guys continue to support grassroots media and some of the smaller channels, because we're the ones who are going to continue to keep these conversations going. And we're also the ones who are willing to talk about the stories that nobody else is going to. Okay. This story, like I said, mainstream media doesn't want to touch this story, but it was us in the grassroots who stood up, stood out, went out there, stood on business. And we're going to continue to if they continue to disrespect our lineage. We're not playing with these people, man. If you got a problem with foundational Black Americans, that's your problem. We over here focus on what we got to do, which is getting this anti-Black hate crime bill passed. We need that. Getting our reparations and cash payments and land grants, getting a Black system for our banking and our money, man. F everything else. We ain't got time for it, y'all. We don't got time for it, man. As it should be, because she learned from someone. Yeah, man. We know who she learned from. We know who she learned from. The ultimate, the arch deceiver. All right. The number one. Okay. The ultimate deceiver. All right. Let's play a little bit more of this, man. So then I gotta play you guys this sister who cooked on this so eloquently.
And I'm letting you know it's gonna be some smoke in the city.
Let me be crystal clear. I have no faith in HPD's administration in this case, because it is a slap in the face to everyone in the city to say she's on administrative leave. They watch the same dirty lowdown video that the whole world has seen. And you mean to tell me you can do that and be put on administrative leave to where the taxpayers are still paying her salary? She should have been fired on the spot. Mayor Whitmire should have told the police chief, she's fired today or you both are fired today.
Yeah, man, that's the key. Is the more now is the stepping up of this. Like now it's not just, oh, okay, these people just can get administrative leave and they need to be fired on the spot, never to be able to be hired in law enforcement ever again. And then the anti-Black hate crime bill should immediately be activated into a arrest and prosecution for a hate crime. Okay. All of her cases should be investigated by the FBI and the Special Victims Unit. All right. Because we don't know how many people have been affected by this, how many people she targeted. Okay. That needs to be investigated, man. We're not playing with this. And that's why I told you guys this bill, the anti-Black hate crime bill, we need that because that is what we need for the protections of our people. All right. 100%, man. I'm not playing with this, bro. Let me bring this down. We're gonna bring up this last video, man, because this she really cooked on this. All right.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. Did they love to?
Hold up, let's bring it back.
What's the bitch name? Ashley Gonzalez. This is exactly what I'm talking about. That racist cop that's saying all that fucked up stuff. This is why I said you can't trust none of them. I'm not going to keep trying to find a needle in a haystack and be nice to these non-black people. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Did they love to talk about how they when they in positions of power, they deny us housing, they deny us stuff, deny us jobs? She just full blown going off. That's why I said I'm not messing with none of them. Oh, I'm embarrassed. I'm Hispanic and I'm embarrassed. Girl, shut the hell up and get the fuck out of my comment section. Period. Go say something to Ashley Gonzalez. Go help us get the bitch fired. Stop coming in our comment section trying to save face. They always want to save face saying that dumbass shit. Man, get the fuck on, bruh. Get your Hispanic ass on somewhere, please. Leave black people the fuck alone. Y'all always harassing us and bothering us, and then everybody always want to save face. Oh, I'm white and I don't feel like that. Get out of here. Like, you need to be telling these people to get the fuck on, because they need.
That's a problem, man. It's like a lot of these conversations, we could have them online, but y'all got to go talk to y'all people. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't be the only one standing on business on Ashley Gonzalez. Like, it needed to be a huge, overwhelming support of the Latino community out there also picketing and upset with what she did and what she said. But you ain't going to see that. And that's just the facts. And that's why a lot of people are so disillusioned with the Black and brown coalition that we never have been able to see. Regardless of what y'all have to say, this is what's happening in real time. And we are not stupid, okay? We can use our eyes. We can use our ears, man. We not dumb. We see what's going on. We pay attention to our community, man. We know what's up. So when stuff like this happens, it's just a metaphor. Like we don't take it personally, but it's at the same time, it's like now we just know what's up. And like I told you guys, ain't no coming back from this delineation. There's no coming back. Like, people think that there's going to be some comeback. Okay, well, now that it's over. Y'all better start thinking about other things now, because as foundational Black Americans, we done with that conversation, man. It's done. Like, we're not coming back. Like, there is no going back. We thinking about other things now. Like, we'll talk about that conversation when what the more pressing thing is, which is what we talking about right here. All right.
Need to be going to talk to the racist people instead of trying to save face. That's why we can't mess with them, because we're never going to get anywhere. Oh, I'm not like that. But they family members like that. They friends like that. The people that they walk past like that, and they don't say nothing. It's not getting us anywhere. It's making these people feel like, oh, well, I'm not like that, so everything good. But they people around them is saying stuff, though. They don't deserve to be around us. They don't deserve to enjoy how we make people laugh, how we make people feel. They don't deserve Black women's, nurturing nature and stuff like that. I'm just tired of seeing y'all bend over backwards for people that want you to die.
That want you to die. All right. This is just facts, man. Like I wanted to make sure that I brought up the specific part about Ashley Gonzalez targeting. Okay. Anything can happen if somebody go to jail. All right. It's a lot of crazy people in jail. A lot of people who have nothing going on in their life. A lot of people who have a lot to lose. And let's say you arrested an innocent person who's never been in trouble their entire life. They go in there and something happens to them, they could die for real, man. This is life or death, man. And I need people to wake up. That's why a lot of times I'll talk about, I'm just a little bit more radical, is because I take things in that way, man. This is life or death. We can't be messing around no more. We can't just be allowing people to come inside of our community, being able to talk to us however, and at the same time, we aren't in those spaces or have legislation to protect ourselves from these type of people. Straight up, man. Like this person, she was literally a police officer, and she was out here targeting Black Americans, man, to lock them up and put them in terrible conditions, man. This is the type of people that we talking about right here, right? Like, what are we doing, man? I've been saying this forever. They will not hire you. They vote against anything that benefits FBA. Not only them, all immigrants. Yeah, man, it's real talk. We have to start waking up and being more proactive about paying attention to this stuff, because obviously they want us to die, bro. They don't want us to be here. They don't. Like, this is just what it is. I don't know I'm letting her continue.
Bro, look at that girl video. Look how she talking. This is nothing new. They get in these positions and they are literally doing detrimental things to our community. You can't be trying to sift through and be nice to some of them. Y'all always talking about some black and brown, black and brown. That's why I'm like, bro, black people are so pathetic. Honestly, every time y'all always talking about some black and brown, I always want to include them. They don't like you. Oh my God, just because a few of them that's not like that, bro, they're pretty much just like every other group of people. They don't like us. Get that through your head. That's why I don't understand why y'all always being nice to them. They do the same thing over and over again. I'm embarrassed. I'm a Hispanic and I'm embarrassed. You're not embarrassed enough because I guarantee them motherfuckers be saying the N-word around you and you don't say anything.
The complacency, fam. The complacency is real. Like I always mention this is don't tell me. Go tell them. Go tell the ones who you know. Go tell the people in your community. Like I mentioned. This whole thing right here, right? Hold on, let me take this down. Now, take that down. Let me put this up. This whole thing. Where's the Hispanic community at? It was a few Hispanic people there, but I don't see none. Where was they at? Where was they at? There should have been an overwhelming presence of the Hispanic community to speak out against this and say, you know what, we don't align with this type of behavior. We don't move like this. We don't support this. But it wasn't, man. Like I said, yeah, we not stupid. Don't act like we stupid. We not stupid. Y'all help me see what I see, bro, because I don't see it.
I'm telling you, it's all fake. Get them out your comment section. Ignore them. Don't be friendly with them. It might feel mean, but bro, how are we going to get somewhere? Everybody's mean to us. I'm tired of being a part of a race where we all nice and stuff to everybody else, and everybody gets to be mean to us. I can't even get on social media and enjoy social media without being the butt of the joke as an African American. We always got to fight. All my life, I had to fight head asses, like literally. Now I see what she meant by that. Like, why do I got to fight every day? Bro, like, stop being cool with these people. Pay them dust. Let them know we do not fuck with you. Y'all people don't fuck with it, and it got to go the long way. It got to go the long way.
A lot of Latinos and other immigrants are heated that Black Americans are legal citizens in our homeland. Some of their families are up for deportation. Yeah, that's just what it is. I mentioned that. It just is what it is, man. Like I told you, like it was a lot of that. It's a lot of time that has gone past. A lot of people who have felt some type of way about this. And now this is all starting to, like I said, it's all starting to come back because now we got to hold the brunt of that. We got to be the ones who now are, the punching bag for them, when in reality, like I said, the system was already set up for y'all to fail, but you guys are so stupid with your own ignorance to not see it. This country does not move without the labor of what foundational Black Americans did and then what y'all chose to sell out for today, okay? The fact of the matter is you guys are undercutting the entire working class of Americans who are the ones who set the precedent for our living conditions and how much money that is set at, all right? It's just facts, man. Salute to FBA Strong. He says most of their naiveness is due to some of us wanting to excel access. The other part of it is the need to be accepted. See what happens. We are not nurtured for self-preservation. Love this sister's feedback. Yeah, man. She, like I told you, she got some fire to her. She's being extra real. Like, what?
We need a new way of living. We need a new way of life. We need to separate from these people somehow, some way. Stop being cool with them. I'm starting to really hate seeing Black people with other races of people in any type of capacity. I don't care how that sounds, because it's just making it seem like everything okay when it's not. We go through so much shit just to step outside the house and be around all these racist people and everybody just ignoring it. Kumbaya, all these elephants in the room. I can't even get on social media with the first video I see is a Hispanic bitch in the car talking about nigga this, nigga that. I'ma lock these niggas up and all that. Bro, your nervous system not tired, your psyche not tired. You're not realizing that you one of the only groups of people in the whole world that got to deal with this shit from people all over the fucking world. I'm telling you, man, I ain't fucking with no non-black person unless I have to. You know what I'm saying? Like when I go somewhere and I got to deal with them, I'm not going to be friends with them. I'm not going to kiki with them in the comments. I'm not going to do none of that shit. We should have never integrated with these people. It's that simple. We are never going to get anywhere. Like, bro, how is it almost 2030 and Black Americans have the most popular culture, but we have the least resources and all this type of stuff? We not demanding that shit. We not being mean enough. We have what they want, and not the other way around. What do we want from the Hispanic community and the white community? They don't have much that we want, except for our reparations. We the ones that's in control, honestly. Like, y'all gonna have to get it together. Black and brown unity. Like, every time a video pop up, there was some black and brown. Why you keep including? Talk about yourself. You need help more than any other group. They can help themselves. They don't even like you, bruh. And what's the bitch name?
Yeah, I mean, listen, she couldn't have said it better. You feel me? It's a whole system right now and a whole way of thinking that foundational Black Americans gotta switch to now. We gotta stop, like I told you, letting other people gaslight us and take us into spots that we don't even need to be in, man. All these people don't know what the heck they're talking about. They're not on the level and they have nothing that we want. Okay? And it's a fact. All right. Let's not ever get this twisted. Okay. We've been so caught up for so long helping so many other people. It's a wrap. That's done. It's over. Like I told y'all, delineation is over. It's cooked. Like there's no going back. So now from here on out, like I told y'all, we got to hold her accountable and we going to keep our foot on Ashley Gonzalez's neck because she's a liar and I have no sympathy for her. Because like I said, she's been doing a lot of messed up things, man. Just wait until they get their numbers up. Yeah, man, they are. I mean, we're going to see because we already know what Trump trying to do with them. I don't think I can write. Yeah, but I know what you mean, though, FBA Strong. I do. And it's a lot of brothers who out here like that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a very weird place right now that we're in. But if like I'm mentioning like what the sister said, man, how long Black people gonna keep doing this? How long we just gonna keep allowing everybody else around the world to disrespect us and us not standing on business, right? And I love the fact that those days are changing. You know what I'm saying? I love the fact that nowadays we are reaching a point where people are starting to stand on business, man. We are really starting to really wake up, man. Jasmine Crockett is done. It's over for her. She chose her side, man, and she got to live with that. And that's what's just happening right now. There's a great awakening, and I talk about this all the time on my channel. And y'all know this who be here. Y'all know I talk about this. There's a great awakening happening right now for our people. And a part of that great awakening is the exposure of all these people who have now come out of nowhere, it seems like, right? It seems like it's out of nowhere, but for me, that is our protection. The ancestors are literally protecting us and showing us who's on our side and who's not, who's going to be the ones to watch out for and who you can trust, okay? And this is going to keep happening. So y'all got to make sure you guys stay on point and make sure you keep your eyes open and don't be so willy-nilly to trust people, man. Be careful. Watch out for your people, man. Some of it is self-esteem. Some people don't respect themselves and desperately want, need, and will seek something else. Yeah, man. And a lot of people are afraid to bet on themselves, man. As foundational Black Americans, we have to be willing to invest in ourselves and show the world what that looks like in this next phase, man, because we're going to get our time. Our time is coming. I can feel it. So when we do get our time, we got to show everybody the real way of how we about to do this, man. And I know for a fact, I got faith in my people that we are not going to make the same mistakes. We are going to be able to insulate ourselves and create the greatest nation that we can amongst ourselves. I know that for a fact. I'm speaking life into that because that is what I see, okay? I can prophesize it because I know that I am going to be a part of that. And once we reach those levels, man, I'm telling y'all, man, there will be nothing that can stop us, man. We've already done it, and we can do it again. We've proven every single time how resilient we are as a people, how we can never be stopped. And let's make sure that we continue to show that resiliency, and we continue to be an example for what that means to keep going, because all these people, like the sister mentioned, they all want what we got. We don't need anything that they have. We got everything that we need right here. You know what I'm saying? So once again, bring this up before I get out of here, man. Once again, we got to salute to our people who was out there, brother Quanell X, and the sister Candace Matthews, man, for being out there, man, for doing what's supposed to be done, and us as a movement making sure that we are staying on point, because at the end of the day, it gets no better than this, man. It gets no better than this at the moment. This is history that we're witnessing right here. All right? History. This is history, okay? And whatever you got to say, this is going to be a changing point in what we do. And like I said, the next phase now is the anti-Black hate crime bill. That is the next phase. We need to be pushing that now, because this is such a great example of what would protect us from, okay, police departments that are corrupt and that are targeting Black Americans. The anti-Black hate crime bill would be right implicated so that there is no fugazi or targeting BS that goes on, because if not, you're getting sued or you're going to get prosecuted to the extent of the law. We need that, man. We need that more than ever, especially when you got people like Ashley Gonzalez out here doing what she's doing, wreaking havoc on our community. What a freaking loser, man. Straight up. This is a great stream, y'all. I appreciate everybody who came through. You guys did a great chat, man. Y'all was active. Obviously, we're going to see what goes on throughout the week. You know what I mean? I definitely will be on probably tomorrow. Y'all know I like to do my Monday shows, so I would definitely be through them tomorrow. We'll probably talk about the Candace Owens situation, because y'all know one of my top videos on my channel was cooking Candace Owens. So we got to cook Candace Owens again, because she deserves to get cooked. All right. So yeah, y'all make sure you like the video. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already. You know what I'm saying? And to everybody who pulls up, man, you guys are showing love. You guys have been riding with your boy for a minute. I don't know what happened to my camera. I think I forgot my charger at Jay's house, so I'm gonna probably have to go get that at some point. But yeah, make sure you guys subscribe, man. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you hype the video, and we continue to grow the channel. All right, we're almost at 1,100 subscribers. We're trying to reach 1,500. You know what I'm saying? We're taking incremental. You know what I'm saying? Once we reach 1,500, you know what I'm saying? Then we'll go for the 2,000. But right now, the big goal is reaching 1,500 subscribers. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hype the video. Make sure you show your boy some love in the comments. All right. My name is Brandon B. I'm part of Elite Media. I'm out.